Hello, my name is Patrick O'Neill. I'm glad to be with you today to talk about our experience in southern Colorado using a static pile fungal-rich vermicompost, and this is our 2020 field season results. Um, this is part of a bigger project in which our group is envisioning aquifer recovery and the future of agriculture in the San Luis Valley and beyond. Um, this is a collaborative project. We are Mosca-Hooper Soil and Water Conservation District, Ute Mountain Ranch, Soil Carbon Coalition, Soil Health Services, which is my company, and 14 farmers from our southern Colorado region. The big questions that we wanted to address this year were regarding this static pile fungal-rich compost, which is a vermicompost. Was it possible to make? Can it scale? Will it function here in our arid region? And can we make our water stretch any farther when we use it? We took inspiration for our work from Dr. Elaine Ingham and Dr. David Johnson, both who are working in the area of the soil microbiome and how to manage more effectively agricultural systems, but especially Dr. David Johnson in his work with developing this particular composting process and sharing that process with the world. For years and years, we've been looking for fungal-rich composts to try to test out the premise of increasing fungal diversity in our soils as a means to increase water use efficiency and increase productivity. However, we've been skunked, and it's been much like trying to find a needle in a haystack to find these materials up until when we met with Dr. David Johnson in 2015. In 2015, we started dialoguing with Dr. David Johnson and his wife Wei-Chin Su about their bioreactor model, and by 2018, I gathered up a group of farmers who were especially interested in bringing that idea home to our southern Colorado region and trying it out, but trying it out on an especially large scale for commercial scale farms and ranches. From fall 2018 to spring 2020 was when we made our compost. By the time the compost was a year old, we had developed a very fungal vermicompost material. The work of Dr. Johnson in integrating his compost at very low rates compared to other standard type composts or windrow type composts was something that we were looking to evaluate. We were using the 400 pound per acre rate of our compost material because that was the starting point that Dr. Johnson had described in his early research. And what we were trying to get at was, is this stuff pixie dust, or is this stuff a real deal catalyst to allow our systems to pop? The farms and ranches that are in this project are all commercial scale operations, and we're using large acreages to evaluate side-by-side comparisons of where compost was applied as compared to where it wasn't. Through the late summer and early fall of 2020 was our field season for observing how the crops grew and how the soil reacted in response to the compost. From the very beginning of our project, we knew we wanted to help develop our farming and ranching communities' capacities to share information one with another and learn from each other. And Soil Carbon Coalition, through Peter Donovan, was instrumental in developing a tool called soilhealth.app towards that end. We were skeptical that anything would be noticeable out in the fields, and we were really surprised with the positive results we saw just from our first field season in using the compost. This included increases in water use efficiency on most crops, increases in harvestable yields, especially for potatoes and forages, and increases in crop value. We have 14 different farms between the San Luis Valley and the Uncompahgre Valley in southern Colorado participating. Between the Uncompahgre Valley and the San Luis Valley in southern Colorado, and our cooperation with Dr. Johnson in Las Cruces, New Mexico, Effectively, in 2019, we had three different regions thinking pretty hard on how to make this work. By the time we finished our field season of 2020, there were a total of 7 regions that were using this same compost in their own field trials. And now at the start of 2021, there's a total of 21 regions across North America that have received this compost from our pile here in southern Colorado to try it out for themselves. We look forward to evaluating this beam compost and its use further, and are immensely grateful for all of our funders and cooperators.